Tiny intro.
Tiny intro. I'm Paul Garbutt, and I'm a co-creative director at Garbutt Design.
And I'm Danielle de Andrade, and I'm also a co-founder with Paul and with Garbutt Design.
The project was for packaging for Who Gives a Crap, which is a company that creates primarily kind of toilet paper, and the great thing about them is they give half their profits to building toilets in unprivileged countries and communities. So we're really excited to be part of that. And to date, they've donated about 8.5 million Australian dollars to that cause. So that's great, a great thing to be a part of. It's slightly awkward in that the idea came to me kind of sitting on the toilet. I was there, and we were users of Who Gives a Crap, and I saw their toilet back then. Wouldn't it be great if those rolls of toilet paper could do a little bit more? We could they could interact and do that kind of stuff. So appropriately, the idea came to us with me on the toilet. So.
And also, to be fair, we also have two younger children.
Yeah.
And there's that whole idea of, how they have those little mix and match books and how you can create all these different characters. And we'd also obviously seen Who Gives a Crap and interact with the product and know that they're very open, or they have been. They do all these lovely kind of wraps for their toilet paper anyway, and they can be quite seasonal, so they'll do something for Christmas, or they'll do, they collaborate with another designer, so we knew they were kind of open to it, but we thought there was an opportunity to extend it and do something that was not just one, but how they kind of interacted together and how they created these different little characters together. So inspired by children and other experiences you probably shouldn't have mentioned, but yes. So
edit that out. But I guess the idea initially was we were also kind of looking around, and we thought, wouldn't it be good to kind of engage children in the toilet? There was no product besides these, sort of the mainstream supermarket products who are wrapped in plastic, and they do all that kind of stuff. And they have these really nasty, sort of kids illustrations of puppies and things like that, which were not very engaging. We thought, wouldn't it be interesting to engage kids in play on the toilet?
Help them with their toilet training and
toilet paper
get them involved.
Yeah, it kind of comes into their life at a time where they've been toilet trained and that kind of thing. So wouldn't it be good if that was actually like a fun process? I guess that was the sort of the big idea that had come out of parenting ourselves, and wouldn't that be fun? Just the fact that there was really not much on the market that actually engaged kids. Well, this project is slightly different. Well, quite different to other projects we kind of usually work on. In that, this was an idea we kind of came up with ourselves one day, and we sort of completely fired off an email to the client and said, hey, we have this idea. We hadn't sort of visualized it at that stage, and I wanted to just run it by you. And then they came back and they said, okay, well, I can give you this date in 3 weeks. They're based in LA. We're in Sydney. And they said, well, we can give you this date. And so we had some time in between, when I kind of had this idea and when we actually met. It was kind of pre-COVID, and it was a video chat very much like we're having now. And so it was kind of before that was so ubiquitous.
It was totally self-initiated.
Yeah, like a self-initiated project.
Paul had this amazing idea,
and
we discussed it, and we thought, oh, it will be awesome, let's see what they think. So it wasn't something, they didn't approach us.
Yeah.
It was us.
And we had some contact with them on some branding work previously, so I had a contact there that we knew, that was Vanessa that I sent the email to. And we just, because there was quite a 3 weeks or something between our meetings, we just visualized these things and actually had this kind of Zoom meeting, and it was slightly awkward. We didn't really even know how it went. Sort of pitched the idea and spoke to her, and she seemed, it was obviously nice and that kind of thing, but we had no idea where it went. And I thought, okay, well, that was that, and sort of went away. And then a few weeks later, they said, oh, they'd really like to do it. So we're really excited. Look, primarily kind of from a design point of view, they let us go, which was great. They actually even pushed us more towards abstraction, which we thought they might not want. And we kind of love abstraction of form, and it's very much sort of part and parcel of the way we design. So they kind of pushed us back to us, which was great. They're a great client. And we kind of just sort of pitched this rough idea of engaging kids, but then they wanted to do it as a limited edition, which was called the Play Edition, which would just be available for at a certain time of the year, and people would buy it, and it would be part of their kind of premium bamboo range. And once it's sold out, it would kind of go. And I don't know that they've done that before during the year. They do it at Christmas.
And another thing that they had kind of come back with feedback on, which was really good, was we had developed this idea about these toilet rolls and them being able to stack, but they were kind of like, okay, well, can we do, they were great because they said, can we do more? Can we also look at what the box does?
Yeah.
And so that was like another level to it, and that was, became a little stage for these toilet rolls to kind of play and interact. So you could cut out the big mouth on the box, and you could have your own little theatrical.
It's like a theatre, so you can recycle the box as well. But Who Gives a Crap already?
So that was great.
Yeah, they're into recycling, and I think just recently that they're completely carbon neutral, and I think they've pretty much they don't use any plastic at all. I think the last bit of plastic I think they were using was just the tape on the boxes, and I think that they've come up with a solution that actually they don't even use that anymore. So that kind of thing was really good. It's like where creativity can kind of mix this. It's something that feels like it's good for the planet and good kind of more, I think. Yeah, well, we worked with the team, the Who Gives a Crap team in LA at that time, so it was remotely working, which worked exceptionally well, I thought. And it's quite a new type. We say that now the world has changed so much in the last year, but at the time it was quite a new thing. We hadn't worked that much, and it was really seamless. And the process was just, I think we started off, we had about 24 of
different
these
characters,
different faces and bodies and things that we wanted to do, and they wanted to just do 12. So
we had to cull a lot.
Kind of cull them down, and printing out a lot and wrapping. The place was filled with studio was filled with toilet rolls and all that kind of thing. So it was just a matter of seeing what worked, and I think we came up with this idea of I've just got one of them here, where we'd actually sort of have two bits of design and kind of combine them on one roll. So that actually made it a little bit more valuable, a little bit more fun. And also that you could, you didn't have to have a head, with a head. You could just have a head with some legs. Tentacles or that could be hair. And they could really adapt and work. And so that was pushing it even further, and playing with it. And so it's just like an iterative design process. We were trying different things, what works, what doesn't. Getting some client feedback, just the stuff we typically do, just working it through. And also simplifying it a lot. I think we started off initially, we had quite a lot of colours that we were working with, and they said, okay, well, we've got a certain range of colours, and these we know work really well, print really well with the processes that they use. So we had to, we adapted our colours. Which I think still works really well, because we love colour. It's in all of our work. So we did have to kind of tone it down or cull it back, but I think it's still beautiful and vibrant. But the thing with this project, it was kind of like it was a really ideal project. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, obviously, but it was an idea we had. We kind of pitched it. The client loved it. We worked with them like really well. It went out to the market. It sold out in 2 weeks. People, loved it on kind of Instagram, and the kids, we've got all these images of, on social media. The kids kind of like making chairs and doing all kinds of stuff. Crazy really engaging. to the point that they re-released it this year, the same range, and it kind of sold out very quickly again. And I guess also during the time there was this whole COVID. I'm sure you had it in the UK, the kind of shortage of toilet paper. So I don't know, toilet paper kind of, it became part of the zeitgeist. So it was just a lot of things that sort of aligned, stacked up together, so to speak, and just sort of went really smoothly. And it really doesn't happen a lot that way, as I'm sure it sort of went really smoothly.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird thing to say. There was not a lot of sort of hardship in it, challenging, just really, getting a bit of client feedback, which was kind of great. So I think that the trickiest thing was actually, I think for me, is really like, we'd never done this before, actually, like pitching an idea cold. I think that was the hardest part about it. And actually going, slightly awkward and kind of felt weird after I did that, but it turned out really well. And people have really engaged with it, so it's really great. So it sort of empowers us to do more of those things. And,
you should. If you've got a great idea about something, you should just give it a try and go out there and present it and see, what comes of it.
Yeah. It's kind of empowering in that way, I think. That was the biggest outtake from it, I think.
We were so busy playing that we didn't really worry about anything. We were just, for goodness sake, it's toilet paper.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a little wrap on a toilet paper and it's something that you're going to use up and it's going to be gone. We didn't worry about it. I think we were just so busy making and playing with the colours and creating little characters and just having fun with it. We didn't really think about whether
it was kind of delightful that it was just going out into the world. I think everything else was really a bit of a bonus. The fact that it, to kind of see people responding that well to it, kind of engaging with it. I think it was just great.
Yeah, there was no.
Because usually, a lot of times we'll sort of design something and it will, be lovely and beautiful, and it'll kind of serve the sort of design industry, and everyone will, we might, be lovely if you get an award for it and people say, oh, that's really great, but it tends to be a lot of times that's from kind of your peers. And this was really great because we felt good about the outcome, but it sort of it crossed over into the public. So it's just not that often that happens, where you get both of those. You sort of satisfy both those parts, where something can be a commercial success, but you're also kind of very happy and giddy about the outcome. So it was quite unusual, yeah. We haven't worked with Who Gives a Crap. As I say, it was re-released. We won a D&AD pencil, which is super exciting. Just had a lot of really good kind of feedback. It's done. We saw what it did on their social media channels. People seem to really enjoy it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think too much has come of it. We'd love to do more of them. We've got loads more ideas. I just think that it's a very odd time in the world, and it's just so strange, it's a really strange time. So yes, there's the excitement of creating this product and it selling out and all of that, but it's in amongst all this other stuff that's going on. So it's
really nice you just sort of randomly get feedback from people on various social media. Just every now and again they say, oh, we really love that, and it's really good, and my kids like that, and I think that's really nice.
People send us some random photographs of what their kids are doing with the product as well. Which is really cute.
Like friends of ours, like within the kind of industry. So it's good to be able to put something like that in the world. I think it was really nice that a month or so ago, Who Gives a Crap, they announced that they did this big, I think it was $5.5 million or something like that, which they donated to building water, providing water and sanitation for different countries. And that's amazing to see. I think it's really terrific. And to play with a small part of that is great. And I think if you can kind of work for clients and do some good, I think that's just such a perfect model I mean, we aim to kind of do that. So again, I'm kind of going to this ideal, describing this kind of ideal project that this was, but it was just really great. Yeah.
It was. I think that a lesson you can learn out of this is, or that we've learned, is that if you have an idea about something, and particularly now when we've got a lot of time to kind of think about things and think about the world and think about how things have changed, if you have a good idea, talk to the people who may be interested in it and go for it.
Yeah.
And give it a try. Because it's not going to happen if it just stays in your head. Go out there and talk about it and share it.
Like back yourself, but also if we can use creativity to do some good, to improve the world, I think we're at a point where we really need to be doing more. And I think creativity is a great way to do that. And we need to be thinking in those ways. The world just needs a kind of a rethink and a redesign in many spheres. And creativity, I think, can do that.
I particularly loved about this project was I loved how we got to create, I don't know if you can see that, we got to create all the little faces. They're really sweet, and I love how they can be, you can see them both ways. That is pretty awesome.
I would say my favorite part was just really engaging people and the kids, and I think that was really heartening to see. Yeah.